everybody, Sandy from Sandi Cooks here, and tonight I'm going to be making some pasta, but more importantly what I'm going to show you is how to make homemade garlic bread instead of buying that store-bought stuff. So come along with me. Okay, so the ingredients we're going to use, I got a stick of butter that I put out from the freezer a little earlier just to soften it. It could actually use a little bit more softening. We're going to use a bunch of garlic again, and I know you like it when I say it, so I'm going to say it again, a crap ton of garlic, as my boys would say. And then the only other two ingredients we're going to use on this is a little bit of Italian seasoning and some table salt, because I'm using unsalted butter here. So let's clean up this mess I just made, chop up this garlic, and we'll be ready to go. Oh, and I'm going to cook the garlic in the microwave for a minute and a half so that it won't be raw when we put it on the bread, because it's not going to be in the oven very long. So I'll show you that as well. Super easy, but a nice little trick that I developed over the last year or two when I started making garlic bread relatively from scratch all the time. Alright, I'm going to chop this up, not with this knife. Alright, so like I showed you before, I wet my knife so that the paper doesn't stick to it as much. Makes it much easier to crush and peel our garlic here. Come on. Doesn't stick to the knife, but it still sticks to the clove sometimes. Can I keep one hand on the front to stabilize it so it doesn't go back and forth like that? And then with the back, it's just a up and down and sliding along the board motion, you know, to make sure that you're actually getting to most of the garlic. Pretty much every measure of garlic in our house is at the crap ton level. We use a lot of garlic, that's for sure. No vampires in this house. Alright, I think that'll do. Now here's a trick I'm going to show you. Just take one of these little cereal bowls, soup bowls, put a little olive oil on the bottom. That'll help to keep this from sticking to the bottom of the bowl and having the garlic burn that way. You can hear something starting to boil over there on the stove too. Alright, so there we go. I'm going to put olive oil on top as well. Try and give it a good coating. I'm trying to make sure it's all covered a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to put another bowl on top as a little seal. You can throw something else over it. This is going to go into the microwave where my son left this cover for a minute and a half. And that will be enough to cook that garlic. Okay, I mentioned my butter's not quite at the softness level I want. It's really close, but not quite there. So what I'm going to do is put this in the microwave literally for 10 seconds. I may do it twice for 10 seconds, but that will get it to the softness where I want it. You know what? That's pretty soft, actually. You know what? I think I'm actually not going to cook it. I'm going to leave it because it's soft enough. And my garlic's ready, so I'm going to go grab that. Alright, so here's our garlic. It is steaming and the whole house smells of garlic now. And I'm just going to pour this in to our garlic, into our butter here. Put this to the side. You can see how hot it is. It's melting the butter. And now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to create what's called a compound butter. I'm using a fork to just kind of mush this up. Be careful, this can get a little sloshy, and you certainly don't want that garlic butter going everywhere, but just mush this. My water is boiling over there. That'll have to wait a minute, because I know that my garlic bread only needs to cook in the oven as long as the pasta cooks. So about 6 to 8 minutes at a boil on the stove is the pasta, and in the oven at 350 for about 6 to 8 minutes, we're going to have this garlic bread going. Sometimes it comes out a little thicker than this. It's not really a compound butter because it's liquid. Sometimes it's more solid, and I use a spatula to spread it. But that'll do. Get our bread now. Go. Turn down our water over here. And now we're just gonna spoon this on and spread it to the edges. We want to make sure we get full coverage on the loaf here. But you'll see this doesn't take very long. It's literally about 10 minutes, and it's so much better than frozen garlic bread. Or, you know, we used to, when we were in a pinch to get dinner on the table really quickly, I'd use just some of the wheat bread that's in the refrigerator and put it in the toaster oven. And once it was toasted, put some butter or margarine on it. But this is way better than that. Way better. Started doing this during the pandemic because I couldn't get the kind of garlic, the brand of garlic bread that we like. So started just making my own, and everybody likes it so much better that we've stuck with it. Now, on that, we're going to add just a little bit of salt the whole way. Like I said, I'm using unsalted butter. So if you use salted butter or salted margarine, you probably can skip this step. And then I just have some Italian seasoning here. I'm not attached to this brand. Oh, geez, what am I doing? Okay. That came out a little bit faster than I was expecting. So, I'm going to do this with a little bit lighter hand. I have found pretty much there's not much of a difference between the store brand, in other words, the no-name brand, and a name brand like this. So I usually just go by pricing at the store, and I get whatever's cheaper. In this case, it was this bigger bottle of Italian seasoning. I'm ready to go here. This is ready to go in the oven. So my pasta is going to go into the pot, and we'll have garlic bread in 6 to 8 minutes. That's it. Okay. My pasta is done. So I'm just pulling my garlic bread out here. It is hot, so be careful. And I'm just gonna cut this up. You can make small pieces, you can make big pieces. I guess I get normally about 6 pieces from one of these halves. course, there's only 3 of us, so there's a lot of leftovers from this. So you could, if you wanted to, you could do a half loaf. You could get smaller loaves. You could use I know that our grocery store nearby sells little ciabattas that are about this big. You could use that. There's all kinds of different bread you can use. But there you go. That's our garlic bread. Oh, God, it smells good. And as always, dinner! So they know it's time to eat.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. To make sure you don't miss future Sandi Cooks videos, subscribe to the channel. Enjoy!